Ready for it. Quick addition. Whenever you're making homemade bread, start with a large bowl and 1 cup of your choice of flour. I'm using whole wheat in this case. The first thing you're going to add is 3 teaspoons of quick rise yeast and 1 teaspoon of salt. Combine those. If you're going to use a refined white sugar, add a 1/4 cup now. If you're going to use a liquid sugar like honey or maple syrup, you can add it with the rest of the liquids, which follows. You need 1 cup of slightly above room temperature warm water. This activates the yeast. Yeast also feeds on the sugar and grows in the bread, which is why you need sugar. Then you'll add 1 egg and a 1/4 cup of olive oil to create that liquid bread dough base. Next, you can add more white flour or you can add some inclusions. If you're going to add inclusions, you don't need quite as much white flour. Here I'm adding a little bit of oatmeal, ground flaxseed, and chia seeds. So the amount of white whole-purpose flour I'm going to use is a little bit less. So once you combine these together in the bowl, mix them in, and then you're going to slowly add white flour a 1/4 cup at a time. If you use all whole wheat flour, you're going to get a really dense bread, so I always mix and combine the two. You add it in a 1/4 cup at a time to avoid overflouring the dough. If you overflour the dough, it tends to get too dense. So you add it in increments, and once the dough starts to stick to the spoon and create a ball around it, that's when you know it's time to start kneading the bread. So you want to lightly flour your work surface, lay out the dough ball, and then use the heel of the hands to knead into the dough. So you push in, curl back over, and continue to do this process over and over again, probably about 12 to 16 times till you create a nice soft dough ball. You'll get a feel for this the more you do it. So once the dough is kneaded to your extent and you have it in a nice small round ball, you're going to lightly grease the inside of your bread bowl and place the dough ball inside, cover it, and allow it to rise for about an hour or until it doubles in bulk. If you have a proofing oven, you put it in the proofing oven. If not, just set it in a warm place. Once it's doubled, lay it back on the floured surface and roll it out into a big rectangle. Next, you're going to start rolling it from the length side edge all the way over. This is going to create 2 loaves. So pinch the ends, fold them over, cut that loaf in half, and then place it in 2 greased bread pans. Butter the tops, put them in the oven, allow them to proof for another half hour, and then bake for 30 minutes. And there you have it, homemade bread. Butter.